Hi everyone, this is the weather hazard briefing for Wednesday, November 23rd from the National Weather Service Forecast Office in Pocatello, Idaho. We do have a little bit of light snow still out there today. Most of us, though, drying things out now and looking to see dry but chilly Thanksgiving Day for us. So some light snow will continue today, mainly for parts of the Eastern Highlands. Some minor travel impacts to watch out for, mainly if you're heading over any of those mountain passes off to the east. That's where some of the higher snow totals are expected to be. Now keep in mind, higher snow totals in this case ranging from about 1 to 3 inches of snow. So certainly not as much as some of the other systems we've seen coming through, but could slow you down a little bit if you are headed anywhere on this Wednesday, of course, just ahead of Thanksgiving Day. Now tomorrow, Thanksgiving Day, overall looking to be pretty dry. Temperatures a little bit cooler. As far as any more snow coming up in the soon forecast, the next snow potential really looking to be over the weekend and into early next week. So we'll briefly talk about that, but won't get too far into it as it is still a few days out, but just kind of a heads up on that one. So the cold front is moving through, and you can actually see that low spinning through parts of western Montana here, looking at satellite this morning. That main push of moisture was coming in with that cold front, so most of us now from Burley to Pocatello up towards Idaho Falls, mainly dry now, and anywhere back to the west of that line. East of that line, really through the Eastern Highlands, some of the higher elevations where we'll still see some of that light snow through part of the morning here, tapering off into the afternoon. But a lot of us going to be mainly dry. Not to say you couldn't see a few flurries here or there, but again, the main push of that moisture already through Pocatello and Idaho Falls already early this Wednesday morning. So mainly looking at some light snow farther to the east, breezy to even gusty conditions too at times, especially through the higher elevations up in the central mountains and then down into parts of the southern hills. That's where we're going to see some of those stronger wind gusts. But overall, the weather risk outlook, mainly green for us. Again, still a little bit of a question mark of some of the potential impacts as we get through the weekend and into early next week with that next system heading our way. But right now, I'm going to keep it green. Would not be surprised, though, to see some of that turn into that kind of lighter orange color for some minor impacts as we end the weekend and head into next week. So keep that in mind if you're going to be doing any traveling back to the area over the weekend. You could run into some snow potentially as we kind of get into Sunday, especially late Sunday into early Monday. Now for our Wednesday here, most of the snow has wrapped up for us. Again, anywhere from Burley, Pocatello up to Idaho Falls. A few flurries here and there, but the main push of moisture is already through. So not really looking at much more as far as any accumulation, not that we saw a whole lot this morning anyway, aside from maybe a quick dusting in a few spots. The farther north you go and the farther east you go, that's where there was that kind of that better potential for some accumulating snow. And we could still see about another inch and a half through parts of the Eastern Highlands, again, as some of the snow continues through the morning and then tapering off in the afternoon. Eventually giving totals for the system in the Eastern Highlands up in those mountains about 1 to 3 inches. So again, not a super impactful event with this, but if you are traveling east early today, you could still run into some impacts on the roadways thanks to some of that falling snow. Temperatures are going to be chilly too. We're still looking at highs mainly in the upper 20s to mid and even some upper 30s, parts of the Magic Valley a little bit warmer, closer to 40 degrees, especially if you get out towards Twin Falls. Here in Pocatello, mainly looking at mid 30s, Idaho Falls, some low to almost mid 30s. Winds are going to be picking up. Well, we've already seen them picking up in a few spots as that front came through, but we will see some stronger wind gusts throughout the day, again up in the central mountains and then down in the southern hills. Some gusts, 25, 30, 35 miles per hour. We could see some isolated gusts closer to about 40 miles per hour. Again, that's going to be kind of as you get towards Burley, the I-86, 84 interchange. That's also typically a bit of a windier spot. We can still see some of those gusts in that area today, but closer to Pocatello and Idaho Falls, gusts up to about 20, maybe an isolated gust 25 miles per hour. So keep that in mind if you are out and about throughout the day today. Might want that jacket or coat handy just because that wind will make it feel a little bit colder out there. Winds will then lighten up a lot as we go through this evening and into tonight. In fact, winds closer to that 5, 10, 15 mile per hour range as we go through tonight and into early Thanksgiving morning. But keep in mind as those temperatures drop and those winds lighten up, and we had that moisture come through today, there could be some freezing fog out in the valleys early Thursday morning. So if you are getting up early on Thanksgiving to travel anywhere, you could run into some of that. So make sure to give yourself some extra time early Thanksgiving morning if you are traveling across parts of the area there. Those temperatures, we're going to be cold once again, falling back down into the single digits and some low to mid-teens for pretty much the entire area. So bundle up if you are doing any of that traveling early Thursday morning especially. By the time we get to Thanksgiving afternoon, temperatures maybe a couple degrees cooler than where we'll be today on Wednesday. A lot of us seeing highs in the mid to upper 20s to low 30s, some mid 30s farther west. Overall, not too cold, but definitely chilly, especially if you are going to be looking to spend any time outdoors, whether you're doing any cooking outdoors or just hanging out with friends or family outside. You'll want to bundle up, that's for sure, on Thanksgiving. As we get into Thursday night and Friday morning, temperatures once again back down in some single digits and teens. So if you're getting up early to maybe go do some shopping, grab the coat, grab the hat, grab the gloves before you head out the door, especially if you think you might have to wait in line at any of those stores. By Friday afternoon, a lot of us are looking at some mid and upper 30s. More of us seeing a few low 40s creeping into the forecast for Friday afternoon. So we will be warming up a little bit more as we get to the end of the week. So keep in mind, if you're doing any traveling today, light snow mainly through parts of the Eastern Highlands continuing through the morning, tapering off this afternoon. Minor travel impacts expected with that, mainly limited to those mountain passes, but just keep that in mind if you are headed out. The higher snow totals are expected out that way, about 1 to 3 inches of snow by the time all is said and done up in the mountains there. Dry, chilly for our Thanksgiving day. Overall, not too bad. If you do any traveling back to the area as we go through the weekend, keep in mind the later we go into the weekend, those snow chances start to creep up, especially Sunday night and then into early next week. So that's what we're going to be focusing on once we kind of get through the holiday here and into the holiday weekend itself. I know a lot of people will still be traveling, so that's what we'll focus on once we get past Thanksgiving Day. Otherwise, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always give us a phone call, send us an email, or connect with us on social media. We'll continue to post updates throughout the holiday there. Otherwise, have a great day.